All right. Well, welcome, brothers. This is a introduction to Grandview training session to be able to show you and orient you with the Lodge dashboards within the Grandview system. Our goal today is to show you around, let you know of the features and functions that are available to you, to show you how to manage your members, how to add members, how to communicate with your members, how our eventing works. We'll touch on some of the accounting, then we'll wrap up with the users portal or member portal where each user of your system can log in, and we'll also show you how to obtain help moving forward. We are in the process of converting your old database. We brought in all the members, the lodges, the memberships, awards, and histories. We brought over a lot of information. If you notice information that was imported that is incorrect or missing information, please don't fret. We are working through these. You've already reported some of this to the Grand Lodge office. They in turn report it to us, and then we work through these issues. It takes a little bit of time to get everything dialed in just right, but give you my word, we're going to stick with it and get you guys up and running as quickly as possible, 100%, and then you'll be off to the races. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, can everyone see my screen? All right, very good. So this is the Lodge dashboard within the Grandview system. If you are a secretary or a treasurer or a lodge officer, this will be the screen that you are presented with when logging in. If you do not see it, in the upper right-hand corner, there'll be an option for Lodge where you can click on the Lodge and go in and see the Lodge dashboard, but it should redirect you directly to this screen. So our systems are set up in a dashboard format. The idea is to be able to put information at your fingertips so that you have metrics and access and things of that nature, that you would want to see that would be pertinent to the operation of your lodge. As I mentioned, if you are a secretary and treasurer, you will receive this dashboard, but you will have edit capabilities relative to your office. For example, secretaries can add members, can advance members through the degrees. Treasurers have access to certain accounting functions. Other lodge officers, such as masters and wardens, will ultimately have view capabilities to where they can view the dashboards. They can see what's going on, but they won't be able to affect changes to membership and accounting and things of that nature, which becomes a really useful tool for your lodge officers to be able to look up brothers, to look up members. If they have a question about a member, they can go access the information instead of having to, call and ask you as a secretary. As I go through the demonstration today, I'm going to shrink the system down every now and then just to show you that the dashboards and the entire system is built to work on mobile devices. It will install as what we call a progressive web application on your smartphones. Most of our systems across our lodges are using smartphones to manage their lodge workflow, but you can use whatever you're comfortable with, whether that be a smartphone, a tablet, full-size computer, whatever you'd like. What we find is that a lot of secretaries have started collecting information and implementing changes with their smartphone while they're at the secretary desk, so they don't have to remember to do it when they get home. So this is your lodge dashboard. I'll give you a quick rundown of the dashboard and different tools. Now we are in the early stages of onboarding, so not all of these tools are going to be turned on for you right now, but I want to show you, I'm in a demo system so we can make changes, but not all of these tools will be turned on or they all won't be implemented. If you see something that doesn't make sense or you don't quite understand it, like I said, just give us a little bit of time. We're really working hard with the office staff and the Grand Secretary to get everything up and running as quickly as possible. We have a task management system built in that shows up at the forefront at the top. You're going to start seeing things pop up in there. These are simply things that we would like you to do. So you're going to see a task that will say, hey, brother secretaries, can you verify your lodge mailing address and verify your lodge's physical address? And we'll give you different instructions on different tasks and things that you will need to do through this onboarding process. During the conversion of your previous database, there were some inconsistencies in the addresses of how different information was stored and what that information was used for. So we're taking the opportunity now to be able to get you guys in here, let you start seeing it, let you help clean that up. You will not have to import all your members as you did last time, but we will get you to verify and kind of look over our shoulders, make sure that we're doing everything correctly. And if something is wrong, we can get that remedied as quickly as possible. The system is live now, so any changes that you affect in the actual live system are permanent. So we can just, everything is a move forward process. But anyway, back to the task. We're going to give you some tasks to do. We'll give you instructions in that task on what we need you to do. When you're complete, you just check a box that says, hey, I've completed this task. That way we, as Grandview and the Grand Lodge office, know that, hey, this has been completed and we're working to empty lists to be able to get up and running. We have member workflows and member pipelines. These are different members that are in different processes. I've already added a petitioner in. You call them applicants on your system. They'll be called applicants. But I've already added one in that we can work through the degrees. You'll see your EAs, your fellowcrafts. With our system, you will input members as soon as they are interested in joining Masonry. So let's just say that you have someone who is interested in becoming a member but is not ready to apply. You can add them as a prospect, and then you can manage them through our prospect workflows. Likewise, when that prospect applies, he will become an applicant, then he'll become an EA and a fellowcraft and master mason, step right through the process. And we'll step through that today. Recapitulation. This is just a recap of things that have happened in the past. My dates are old because this being a testing system. Yours will be, 1/1/25 to date, or whatever your Masonic year may be. But it shows you recapitulation of total gains, total losses, where they come from. You can drill down, you can run reports to find these changes. This is really important to lodges as you go throughout the year, because the system shows you your total number of members, but then you can come in and see what different events have occurred, your total membership. So when it comes around to your semi-annual returns or your semi-annual invoices, there's really no surprises. As you've updated the information, it shows here on the recapitulation and processes right through to your semi-annual returns. Down at the bottom of your lodge dashboard are your lodge officers. Again, we have imported this information, but as you work through this, you may see some discrepancies because there were some older records. Again, I will show you how to report all of that and make the corrections. We have lodge operations. We have due summary. We do have a full accounting package. We will have other training sessions focusing specifically on the accounting. This one is intended just for member management and communication, but it does have a full accounting package where you can track your accounts receivable. You can send dues notices via an email, those kind of things. Member engagement, this is a really important one here, is we're tracking the quality of the contact information for our members. So how many have email addresses, cell phone numbers, how many addresses are deliverable, how many members are using their member portals. We are in the process right now of going through all 26,000 of the addresses in your system and verifying their deliverability with Canadian addresses and your postcodes and geolocating each of those. That takes a couple days to process, but we're working through that right now. So you're going to start seeing the addresses on your portal may all be red, that it's unverified, red in color, that it's unverified, and you'll start seeing those coming. Please don't spend any time on that right now. We're handling that for you, and then the system will handle that each and every time an address is updated. All you need to worry about is the ones that are not verified. Age dispersion, for those of you that were there last week, this is a nice graphic. Spoiler alert, most of the people are over 60, but this gives you kind of a breakdown of your lodge and how many members you have in each of these age cohorts. And that's your dashboard. There's other features and functions that you will see appear over time as we have new features, or not new features, but existing features of Grandview implemented and rolled out in your Grand Lodge. Next is the members list. This is a comprehensive list of all of the members within your lodge. They are sorted in alphabetical by last name. However, you can quickly and easily search for one. So if I'm looking for Brother Fleming, I can just start typing a few letters of his last name or his first name, and it will automatically sort that for me so that I can then expand his record. If you notice here, you have a little expansion, what we call a caret. It drops down, it gives you their phone numbers. If you're on a mobile device, you can click their phone number and it will start dialing. Email's the same, it will start creating an email. You have access to a quick view of their record, but you can also click on the record and get a full view of the member's record. So this would be all all of the members' profile, the member record, their history, and I'll go through a member record here in just a moment. We do have advanced search capabilities where you can search for members by phone number, by email address. You can search by status. Get in there and play around with this. You'll learn to use the system really quick. We get the question all the time, like, hey, I want to sort them by first names. Like, well, if you know their first name, just start typing a few letters. We focus strictly on a search. I know that Brother Clark is in front of me. Let's start searching for JEF, and then it finds it, and it makes it really, really quick. Especially on mobile devices, sorting in lists gets really, really cumbersome, where a search makes things really simple for you. Your inactive members are just that. These are all of the members of your lodge who were deceased, suspended, unaffiliated. Inactive non-master mason are those EAs and fellow crafts that did not complete the degrees. I don't think that really applies to you, but that is all of those members are here, and you have the same functionality to search. So if you have a member who was suspended for non-payment of dues, and you need to reinstate them, you can search for that member and then implement the reinstatement process from this screen, from their member record. So again, that's your member list. This is where the rubber really meets the road. We track things like years of service, starts tracking from their EA date in Ontario. So you have a quick view of that. It does take into account missed time for suspensions and unaffiliated. So if he was unaffiliated for a period of time or suspended for a period of time, it does take all of that into account, and you can see that detail when we get to a member record. And then you have a quick view here of all of the email addresses, mobile phone, and physical addresses, and if they're using the portals, just a quick checkbox. We like to say if something's in red, that probably may need attention, especially on the emails and mobile phones. It's very, very common, and very few members don't have them, but there are a few. But the idea is to be able to come here and have a quick look at how well your contact information is looking, how complete it is looking. Core concept of the system is to be able to communicate. That all starts with good contact information. So that's what that's built for. Moving down the list of the dashboard here, we have spouses and widows. This allows you to track spouses and widows of your members. The spouse records are directly on and widows are on the member records. Members can add their own spouses to the system. If they add a widow, you have bigger problems, but they can come in and add their spouses and things like that. And then as time progresses, when a member fortunately passes away, the system will automatically detect that he has an active spouse record on his member record, and it will move her to the widows list. So this allows you to search for them just like you would a member, have access to different notes and comments, and just be able to manage your spouse and widows if that's something that your lodge does. Other contacts allow you to, and this is just test data here, but other contacts allow you to add individuals who are not a member of your lodge or your jurisdiction. So for example, you have a brother that visits your lodge frequently, but he has not made a plural membership in your lodge, or he's from a neighboring Grand Lodge. You can add him in here, and then you can communicate meeting events and notices and things of that nature. So it gives you a place to just store other contacts and manage them. We have a feature for newsletters. This allows you to create just that, newsletters. Think Constant Contact, MailChimp, that kind of functionality. This allows you to come into the system, click the plus button here by newsletters, and choose a template. Put in your subject, you choose a template, it lays out, it will automatically pull your lodge seal. I'll show you how to do all of that. If you pull in your lodge seal, it creates the layout for you. It puts in blank or placeholder text. You replace this, you preview your newsletter. Next, you publish it. So now you can send it to yourself to see what it looks like in your email client. You can also select your audiences. So I want this to go to our Master Masons and EAs and fellow crafts. You have other audiences, so you can create distribution lists. I'm going to show you how to do all of this, but you can create a distribution list for email so that if you have a custom list that you want to communicate with, that's things like current lodge officers and past masters. You can create custom newsletter lists, and then you can communicate directly to them. With that, you can choose to publish now, or you can publish later, or you can save it without sending out any communications. You can publish later where you set a date and time. So, hey, I want this newsletter to go out to my members on Monday morning at 8 a.m. So you can choose that option of the date and time it is to go out. You schedule that, and then at that date and time, it publishes on their member portals, and it sends all of the emails to all of your members. So a very, very powerful communications tool. Emails are free for you, so I encourage you to use this. They're free for your members to receive. So I encourage you to use this functionality to be able to communicate. You can communicate upcoming events. You can communicate upcoming trestle boards. Any generic communication that you would like to send out to your members, you can use that completely unlimited and unrestricted. On top of that, once you send out the communication, let me go back to this real quick so I don't create one. Once you send out a communication, there it is, up scheduled, you have the ability to look at analytics, which will show you the number of emails sent, and then you can click a button and see who opened the email and who bounced and who had a bad email and their emails are not going through. So all of this is at your fingertips to be able to quickly and easily communicate with your members through newsletters. Next are meetings and events. This allows you to create different types of meetings and events for your lodge. And all of this is for your lodge with your lodge dashboard. So we're going to have a lodge meeting. We are going to be holding a ritual event where you're conferring one of the degrees. You're going to be holding a fundraiser or special event or an annual election. And as we get into the implementation, you may see additional options show up here, and we'll communicate those out to you so that you know of the special function or a custom function just for the Grand Lodge of Ontario. Adding a meeting, as simple as clicking the date, the meeting time. Whoop, I clicked too much. You choose the date. You choose it's a stated meeting. You select the time of the meeting. This one has weird times in it. Then you can fill out the rest of the information, the description or the agenda of the meeting, the dress code. So this is casual, dark suit, whatever your lodge may be calling for this event. You have a lot of options here. You do not have to fill all of them out. If you have a special contact for the event, you can set the minimum or the maximum number of attendees. So you can say, hey, we only have 25 seats. So once it hits 25, it will not allow members to register. Members can register for events through their member portal. Anyway, you create the event. You can then send out communications. You can select the audiences that you'd like it to go to. Members through their member portal can select items that they'd like to participate in. We are in the process of standing up online payments, e-transfers, and credit card, and that's those sort of things. With that, members will be able to buy tickets and things of that nature. And we'll communicate all of that when that is turned on, and then show you how all of the money flows back into the lodge through our lodge accounting program. But again, this eventing system, you know, guys, and when you're starting with the system, I should have started with this. You know, don't be scared to try the system, but when you click send an email or send a communication, it's going to ask you, are you sure? If you say yes, that communication is gone. It sends almost instantaneously. There's no way to pull them back. But, you know, try to create events, see what it looks like. Just don't send the communications unless you want your members to know about it. Or in the subject, say, you know, this is just a test. Please don't show up, because invariably it will send emails and they will show up for the event. But you're welcome to go in and test it. Please don't be scared of it. We do have instructions on how to use all of this. So, you know, but get in and try it and look around. Reports and labels. We have lodge directory reports, so you can pull a list of all of the lodges throughout your entire Grand Lodge with the officers and their basic contact information, officers being masters and secretaries, things of that nature. Membership changes since a particular date. We have a mentoring system to where you can assign mentors to members where they can go in and add notes. They can't see the full member record, but they can add notes that, hey, I talked to this brother at this time or this applicant at this time. Mr. Smith is still interested. He's just waiting on the right time, things like that. Widows reports, birthday reports. There's a lot of different reports. Some of these you'll start seeing some that are specific to Ontario as we move into the implementation. One of the more popular are years of service report, to where I can say, hey, I want to see everyone who is going to obtain 50 years of service between now and, let's just say, the end of the year. So if you have 25, 45, 50 years of service reports, this allows you to download a list into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can use that to contact a member or submit requests, whatever you may need to do with that, so that you know that those members are achieving that years of service in that time frame. Different event reports. So I would like to preview in browser the event date, the time, the date range, and then I want to see every initiation, passing, and raising that this lodge has done in this time frame. All of that information is right there at your fingertips. With reports, this is another area. Please click on every single one of the reports, look at them, get used to them. There's very powerful tools here for you to analyze your data, to extract data, and to do things with your data. Please click on every one of these. In this area, you'll never send an email or notification. So you're not going to break anything, so click on it, use it, learn what's there and available to you. If you get confused, I will show you the help desk here in just a moment. We also have a list builder functionality. This allows you to build a custom list. So what it does is it queues up down here at the bottom. So I'm going to clear the queue. So now I don't have anything in my list. So I want to get a list of all of the current lodge officers. So I add those to the queue, and you see that we have these guys here, current officers. And then I want to add all of the past masters. This gives me a list of all of the past masters. And if you guys were in my presentations last week, yes, you can add and remove if there's guys that are shut in or don't attend, or you lose their invitation. You can click on these to remove and custom build and tailor your list for your specific needs. Once you have the list adjusted where you like it, what would you like to do with the list? So you can download it as a spreadsheet, as a PDF. You can download it as pre-formatted mailing labels and envelopes, or you can create different lists. So if you remember when we were looking at the newsletter section, this allows you to create an email list where it takes all of the members in your queue. You can create the list. So we'll just call this we submit that, and now whenever we go and create a newsletter, we have the option to send to the 2025 officers and past masters list. So that creates an option so you can create custom distribution lists to be able to communicate with your members. Another very useful feature of the list builder, let me clear it, is the ability to say, hey, I want to send out birthday cards here in the fourth quarter and get ready for that. So I want to send it to actual birthdays. We also have Masonic birthday, which would be the date that they were raised a Master Mason. But actual birthday, you can add those to queue, and it gives you a list of all of the brothers who have a birthday in that time range. You can then, again, spreadsheet, mailing labels, if you want to mail them birthday cards, all of that's at your fingertips through the list builder functionality. Next, we have tasks. This is that area where I showed you at the top of the screen. Those are tasks that you need to be addressing for your lodge. You can also create tasks for yourself. This is a great place to create reminders that, hey, we need to do our audit report by this day. We need to do these things. You can create tasks. Ultimately, you can assign the task out to different officers of the lodge. Once those officers are logged in and using the system, that will be available to you. Currently, secretaries are logging in with treasurers, and masters have view only. But as we get other officers in, you'd be able to assign tasks to lodges or to lodge officers. Resources and forms. We are in the process of populating all of this right now. So on your website previously, you had resources and files and documents and things of that nature. This is another place, or this is where they will be hosted from now on for your lodge. So this is where things like different directories, different processes, procedures, forms, applications, physical documents, things that you would need to download. All of that will be underneath resources and forums for your lodge. We do have resources for other officers that are available through the member portals, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And then your distribution list, we've already talked about some of this where you have the newsletters and the events, the ability to create a list. This just allows you to see all of the distribution lists in your system, click on them, and then see the people who are members of that distribution list. So that's a tour of the overall lodge dashboard. Next are the lodge accounting functionality. This allows the lodge to have one or more bank accounts configured. It's a fund style accounting where you can earmark funds, move funds into different, move monies into different funds. Let's just say for a fundraiser or a scholarship or a regalia, a building fund, you can create your own funds, things of that nature. You can track all of that. You can track investments. Secretary's tools, as you receive monies into the lodge, you can create dues notices, you can receive monies, you can pay them over to the treasurer. Then you can input the bills as correspondence comes in. You can mark them as approved when they're approved by the lodge. And then treasurer tools allows treasurers to pay a bill, put in the check number, the date that it was paid. And when you pay money over to the treasurer to be deposited, it comes in as an open payover. When he deposits, he can upload a deposit slip, preferably take a picture of it while he's still in the drive-through at the bank. And then we have closed cycle accounting. The goal here is to provide the lodge with an effective lodge purpose-built accounting package where lodges can track their accounts and their funds and their finances throughout the year, with the ultimate goal of having what we call an audit roll-up, where you can roll all up into an audit report and not have to go hunt down receipts or bills or any of that because it was all uploaded in the system throughout the year. We do have budgets where you can set up different budgets and you can track actuals versus estimates. So you can say, hey, for membership dues, we estimate this amount. You just click on the amount, you can put that in so you can create budgets, and then you can track actuals versus estimates over time. You can generate reports off of this. You can pull general ledger reports. There's a ton of features and functionality here. I don't want to occupy our whole time today on the accounting, but all of this features of this functionality is documented in the system and is freely available to you to use. So again, help topics are here at the bottom. This is the accounting package. One of the very popular parts of this is the ability to create dues notices and add write-in donations. You can add a letter. And then when you're through with that, you can send the dues notice via an email to every single one of your members instantaneously. As members make payments or as you post payments, it purges your accounts receivables list. So whenever you're ready to send reminders, it's as simple as logging into your dashboard and clicking the send dues notice email button, and it will resend the dues notice. You can also see who has opened the email. If you'd like to print the dues notice, you can print in member statements. It prints them in such a way that the lodge return address and the member's address are formatted for a double or trifold, put into a double window envelope with a stamp, so you don't have to bother with mailing labels or filling out envelopes or anything of that nature. Just have to have double window envelopes. You can trifold stuff them, put it stamp, and send it. So a lot of features and functionality to save you time here. This button here, this is your kind of your main toolbar. I didn't mention that as I was going through it. This allows you to see all of your members. So this is the same as clicking the members from the main dashboard, just two ways to get into the same thing. This toolbar is always visible. So when you shrink down to a mobile phone, it's always here. So we put these kind of quick starts. Again, this is all of your member functionality. We also have a feature called File Vault. This allows you at the lodge level to upload different files and folders and things and create folders of documents that are pertinent to the lodge. For example, you will have a minutes folder by default. Anything you put in the minutes folder will become visible to the master masons of your lodge through their member portal. So you can write your minutes, meeting minutes. Once they're approved, you can upload them, or you can even upload them as a draft. You can put them in here as an online repository. We've had lodges go back to the 1700s and upload scans of all of their handwritten meeting minutes as an electronic repository to make that information available to the members. So here you can simply click on a list. There's no items. You can add a file. You can add a folder. You can edit it and rename it. But again, it's just a folder directory for an online repository where you can store documents. And then certain folders will have typically the minutes and the history. Your master masons will have access to that. You can also create private folders that are only for you, the treasurer, and the officers of the lodge. So if you need to store different documents, that's here for you. Next are the little gears. So this is your lodge configuration. This allows you to set general information. Now, you will not be able to edit these top sections because that typically requires a bylaws change. If you see something that is not correct here, probably your street address is the one that we found that there's a lot of inconsistencies. If you find this to be incorrect, simply contact the Grand Lodge through the office at grandlodge.on.ca. That was communicated to you in the email where you got the invite to this meeting. Communicate that to them that, hey, this address is wrong. They will change that. This is not something that changes very often and typically requires a bylaw change to change meeting times, your districts, and the general name, domicile of the lodge, charter date, things like that. So just let them know. Now, moving down to lodge contact information, this is information that you can change by clicking on the edit. Lodge contact information is just that. So when the Grand Lodge communicates with your lodge, they will use information off of the lodge contact information tab here. So whatever phone number you would like someone to call, whether it be the secretaries, the masters, the treasurers, or if you're going out of town, you can log in and change that. The same with the email. You can input your lodge's website if your lodge has one, and your mailing address. If your mailing address is the same as your street address or your physical address, put it in both places because they will have physical addresses, but the Grand Lodge will send things to your mailing address. So if you have a P.O. box or want that come directly to the secretary's house, you can update that information here. That way it comes to you. Again, if you're leaving town or you're going to take a sabbatical from your office, lucky you, you can change this address and have that go to another officer of the lodge while you're out. We have some other settings here. You can upload a seal for your lodge. You can upload your lodge seal whenever you create correspondence. It will put that lodge seal at the top of your correspondence automatically. This will be defaulting to a square and compasses for you, but you can upload a custom lodge seal for all of your correspondence in the lodge. You can also upload a photo of the lodge. This is typically a picture of the building so that as brothers are traveling and want to come visit your lodge, they can see what the building looks like when they approach it. Officers of the lodge, this is where you will set your officers. This is where you will input your elections. So we have elections just underneath that. So you input elections and officers during your election season by adding an election. The date of the election, it's an annual election. You add that. You add whoever is taking the master's chair. I'm just grabbing some here. Again, you will notice that everything has a search built into it. So you can start typing a few letters and it will filter down for you. So most of the time, as elections are happening in the lodge, our secretaries have their phone out. They're inputting all of these as they're being added. The system is smart enough to know that you cannot add the master as the secretary, that kind of thing. It does enforce the rules for that. You can set all of your appointed officers. And then if you install that night, or if you have installations another night, as they take the oath of their office, you simply click install, the date that they were installed officers. Term start is required, but term end is not. Unless you are codified where you have to put a term end, we recommend that you do not put a term end. The system works as masonry does. When you are installed an officer, You are in that officer until your successor is installed. This becomes very important for the lodges because your permissions to be able to manage the lodge dashboard, your master's permissions, the treasurer's permissions are all keyed off of your currently installed officers. So if you set a term end on your secretary, but you don't hold elections until a day or two later, your secretary will be locked out of the system. That's why we recommend you leave the term end empty, leave it open-ended. You install them. They are now the currently installed officer. It updates the previous master with the term end. His term end is now this brother's term start, and then he has permissions the next time he logs in. So that's how that works as you move forward. And you just simply run down the list. If you do all of your installations in one night, you can just click the list as they take their obligation. I'm just going to go through and install all of these. Once you are through installing all of them, your election is complete. You return to the dashboard. And if I scroll down here to the bottom, all of my new officers have been installed. The Grand Lodge has been notified of the officer update, and then all of the reporting and everything throughout the entire system has been updated with my new officers since they were installed. Moving down the list here, underneath, I went back to the settings section of your lodge. You have history. This is where things such as lodge chartered, charter surrendered, things like that. The Grand Lodge will populate these if they have that information. Lodge committees allows you to create different committees within your lodge. So you can create I don't know, I'm making one up, a building committee. You can assign members to that committee. And then you have term starts, term ends, just like elections. This information is available to the Grand Lodge, but it is not a reporting requirement. I don't believe you guys are required to have committees or boards, but if you are, this is where you would input that. You can also input this information just for your reasons to remember who's on what committee, and that becomes available to the members through their portals. Miscellaneous contacts, that's the same as the other contacts. Messaging account, as we get in to your implementation, you will have the option to enable text messaging in your system to where you can send out text messages in addition to emails. However, there may be cost, or there will be cost, because the phone carriers, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, they charge us for that, but it will be available to you. You will not see lodge admins. I'm in a little different permission level. So that is a complete rundown of your lodge dashboard. So I would like to take a moment and step through the adding of new members. So from your dashboard or from the members list, you can do it from either place. You see the little plus here with the little person beside it. This allows you to add a member. If you hover your mouse over these options, you will see what they are. So this is your member search, add a member, and then this one allows you to see notes on the lodge. So this allows you to add a member. So yours will look a little different because it will say application instead of petition for membership. Your terminology has been updated, but this steps you through to get you to the right petition process. So petition for membership. Is the petitioner a Mason? So is he a Mason? Has he ever been a Mason? What this is asking, is this a new application for degrees, or is he affiliated, right? So is he a Mason? No, he's not. So it goes into the new application for degrees. And it asks you a lot of questions. You can put in their recommenders. It has employment, other information. Certain information is required, certain information is not required, but you can populate the entire thing. It will create this record. It will give them a member ID, and they will show up on your dashboard from that point. So is the petitioner a Mason? Yes, he is. Is the petitioner a current or past member of any lodge? And this will say any Ontario lodge. So is he a current or past member of any Ontario lodge? What we're asking for here is he re-affiliating, or is he asking for a plural affiliation? So you just answer the question. Yes, he is a member of an Ontario lodge. And this allows you to search for the member record. And this will look across suspended, demitted, and current active members. If it's an active member, it steers you into the plural or dual member affiliation workflow. If it is a currently suspended or a demitted member, then it steers you through that workflow. Lastly, Petition for membership. Is he a Mason? Yes. Is he a current past member? No. This means it's a foreign affiliation. So it now pops up for a new petition. This allows you to search for the Grand Lodge. So you can just start typing a few of the names. So he's coming from the Grand Lodge of Texas. Then it gives you a list of lodges. So it allows you to choose the lodge from a list. It allows you to put in the member ID, the information that you know about the member, first name, middle name, last name. You fill out this form, the recommenders for his application. You add it, it automatically goes to the Grand Lodge so that they can then contact the remote Grand Lodge. So you give them the lodge name, the jurisdiction, the lodge name, and the member number, so that the Grand Lodge office can now ask for the certificate of good standing, and that kicks off that workflow. So everything kind of, if you're noticing that, it kind of steers you through what you're trying to do and what you're trying to add into the system. Once you have a petition added, so I have a petitioner. I added this earlier today just so we could use it to test. You pull up a new petitioner, and this is an example of a member record, and this is a petitioner record. Running down the list, we have demographics, photos, memberships. It's only going to be in this lodge right now. Spouse, other contacts. So you can fill all of this information out. We also have a workflow here, and this is currently being modified just for your jurisdiction. So this is a workflow that each applicant has to go through. So enter and verify their recommenders. So we're making sure that the recommenders are members and in good standing and follow the rules of your jurisdiction. If you are required to perform a background check, you can initiate the background check. I believe you call this Grand Lodge clearance, so you can get Grand Lodge approval, or if everything is met, it will auto approve. You can then input the investigation committee or committee of inquiry. They can return a result electronically or verbally through the lodge, whatever your policy or procedure. The lodge can vote on the member. So you voted to accept them, the date. You can assign a mentor. I can't remember any of the names. So you can, give me just 1 second. Sorry, I got a little bit ahead of myself. I didn't have a good example to use for the name. Bruce. Oh no, Buffington. So here the lodge voted on him. He was accepted. We assign his mentor, and then any comments that you may have, and then you can elect him to receive the degrees. So now he is showing as a candidate for degrees. We go back to the lodge dashboard. You see that you now have one candidate. So it just steps right through the process. He shows up, he receives his initiation. You simply click on the name of the brother or of the candidate. Oh, I didn't go through all of the steps here. Once you have a member, sorry about that, guys. Once you have the member record here, I didn't go through all the steps. I'm trying not to make you suffer through all of that. To change a member status as he advances through the degrees, you go to that brother's record. Here on the sidebar, you see your lodge. You can change status, and then you choose the status that he is changing to. The system is smart enough to know that a Master Mason can demit, he can be suspended for NPD, unmasonic conduct, expelled, or he can pass away. Certain of these options are reserved for Grand Lodge only, such as suspended for unmasonic conduct and expel. You may be able to tell on your screen they're a little different color. Those are reserved for Grand Lodge because typically that takes a trial and approval before you can expel someone. But what is available to you is here. So on a candidate for the degrees, he has initiated an EA, or he can pass away, or he can withdraw his petition. And then it just steps right through. So to change a member status, you simply go to that member record, change status, choose the appropriate status, save that. It adds the history event. It changes his status. It will send the member a email congratulating them on being initiated and entered apprentice or passing to the degree of fellowcraft from Grand Lodge on Grand Lodge letterhead and that kind of thing. So it creates nice automated communications, but then they also go into your contact list and you can communicate with them as a member from now on. So all of that is handled for you through the system. Last part are the member portals, and I'm going to go to my Grand Lodge system so I can show you my Grand Lodge portal just because I think it's going to make more sense here. We have a member portal where every member, just as you registered for your member portal, every member in your jurisdiction will be able to register for their member portal. Here, as newsletters are sent by you, by your district, by the Grand Lodge, members will be able to see an aggregation of all of the events and things that are upcoming in their area that applies to them. They will be able to see events. They can manage their own profile here. They cannot change their name or their birthday or anything like that. And there was a question when I was there last week of, can we update a member's birthday? Absolutely, you can edit the member's profile, but members cannot. But you can change that information if it is incorrect. Members can modify their spouse, their contact information. When a member changes their contact information, secretaries will receive an email saying, Brother Jeff Clark, member number 59502, changed his cell phone number from this to this. He changed his email from this to this. So you have a record of that, but they are helping you update and maintain good contact information. Whenever someone registers for the member portal, one of the first things we do is ask them to update their contact. Members can add other contacts. They can set communication preferences for their different lodges and Grand Lodge preferences. They can upload a profile picture. So they can do that. They can change their password. They can see their whole member record, but they cannot change any history. They cannot give themselves titles, but they can help you maintain their contact information and their other contacts. Members have access to a virtual card, which can be scanned to verify their good standing. If you guys were there last week, if you have your phone out now, you can take a picture of that QR code and it will verify my good standing. This is not for official use for you guys right now, but we are working with the Grand Lodge, but you can verify brothers membership with this. Your regular dues card process is still required. You have access to Grand Lodge where you can see the officers, the members of different boards and committees and things of that nature. Your Grand Lodge is currently configuring your recognition. Once it is completely configured, every single member in the jurisdiction will have access to your recognition. So your members will be able to see what Grand Lodges and who you recognize, what lodges they can attend, things of that nature. We have a find meetings functionality where it shows me the meetings radiating from where I'm standing right now. So today at 7 p.m., Blanchard's meeting 15 miles from me. I can contact the lodge to be able to attend. This is very popular amongst the members. And that looks out at your events and things like that. We have resources for so we have resources for EAs, fellow craft master masons. This is all being populated right now before we announce to the entire Grand Lodge about the member portal. So we're populating different things and different resources for EAs, fellow craft master masons. So as they advance through the degrees, they get access to each new section, but an EA cannot access the fellow craft and master masons degree. So it is progressive. We have short talk bulletins from the Masonic Service Association. Members can see their lodge. They can see if they owe dues. They can print statements. They can print receipts for dues. They can see the officers of their lodge and the officers of their district. This is another area where lodge info, the address, everything that's going on in the lodge, but then they can also see all of the officers of the lodge. And this is another one of the areas that are automatically updated whenever you install your officers. So all of this happened today whenever I updated them. Or actually that didn't, but on our demo system, that updates real time. So they have access to their member portals. And guys, that's that. Sorry, I went on for 50 minutes here. One thing I do want to leave you with, and I'm going to jump over to your system. So within your system, when you're looking at your lodge dashboard, one of the most important areas of the system is this little question mark here. This is your help desk. This is where you can go to get help for just about anything within the system. One thing I didn't show you, I do apologize. Before I go into the help desk, we built dispensation requests for the Grand Lodge of Ontario. So here is where you will request dispensations. From your lodge dashboard, you go to dispensation requests, and here you can add the request. It has all of your request types. You fill out the form just like you always have. It's not a paper form or a PDF. You just answer the questions on the screen. You point and click, fill out all of the required information, and then that is submitted, and that submits all the way up to the Grand Lodge. If it's not auto approved, it will go through the entire approval process for you. We have documentation, all that, which if we go back here to the help desk, this gives you step-by-step how to do anything in the system. You can also search these. So I can look for suspend. So how do I suspend a member? So now how do I view an active or deceased, reinstate a member? How do I change a member status? So changing status of a member is right here. Gives you procedures with checks. So it shows you the screenshots step by step on what to do as you go through the system and how to change the status of a member, how to add a member. Again, step-by-step instructions through the entire process. We have conceptual documents here. So you'll see how-tos, which are just that. You'll see some concepts as to why certain things are built into the system the way that they are. How do members register? How to set up the mobile app on your phone. So this gives you step-by-step instructions on how to do that and how your members would install that. All of this is available to you in the help desk section. We also have it categorized by, lodge accounting. Each and every step and function of the system is fully documented here on how to handle. If you are stuck or you have a problem, to be able to request support or to alert the Grand Lodge, you can email, but a better solution instead of emailing is to come to your help desk, and here under technical support, you can create a ticket. Now you won't see everyone else's tickets, but you will be able to create your own. So you can create a new request. You can put in the title, the description of the request. Give us some details. This member number has a membership that's not right, or my member record, member number such and such, it is showing he's a member of this lodge and he is not, or my history showing that I was a member of this or that this happened and I can't fix it. Anything that you find that you need help with or that is inaccurate or broken, anything of that nature, please go in and create a technical support request. If you do it through the system, it really streamlines the process to go to the Grand Lodge office. And then the Grand Lodge office, if they can't address the issue for you, they will then bring myself or one of my team members into the loop so that we can address the system. It's really important that you go through your Grand Lodge office because they will be able to answer questions such as, can I suspend this member? Where we are more geared for how do I suspend this member? They will be able to help you with the policy and processes, not just, how to operate within the system. So that help desk is there for you. Again, we did import everything and update the import yesterday. We have brought in all of the members, the history events and things of that nature. If anything is missing or something is not right, please report it through that technical support area. If you have an idea for the system or you have an suggestion for improvement, I can't promise you that we will build everything, but please submit it through the help desk. They'll escalate it to our team. What you see when you look at Grandview is an amalgam of all that we have built from across all of our jurisdictions and all of our secretaries, in feedback that we receive. Just understand that as we are getting up and running and as we are moving through the implementation, our core focus right now is on all of the secretaries and the accuracy and validity of the data. Once we have that, we will then start a phased rollout, and we're not really putting anything on the calendar until we have you guys up and running, because it's just, it can take anywhere from a few weeks to a couple months, and we're really focusing in on that. Then we will start rolling out new and advanced features, getting everything geared up for this fall for dues notices for you to be able to start sending those out, going into your semi-annual return, which is about 6 months away. We have those kind of things to roll out. all of which you will receive emails and instructions, much like the invitation you received to this meeting. You will be receiving those communications with instructions and what you need to do, or hey, we've added a task. Please go check out that task. Follow the instructions there so you can help us help you and help the Grand Lodge help you get everything configured and get you up and running as quickly as possible. So with that, brothers, I have spoke for 55 minutes. We've got a couple of minutes here if you guys have any questions. Again, if you're seeing data that's wrong or anything, make sure you report that through the ticket. We won't remember it from these calls, but if you have any questions, you can raise your hand or unmute and be happy to take them.
Jeff, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
When you go into the system and you enter the brother's certificate number, for instance, let's say you're demitting him, will that then notify all other lodge secretaries and or other concordant bodies that he is no longer an active member?
So yes and not yet. So it will notify all lodges within your Grand Lodge that he is no longer a member. It will also notify the Grand Lodge. We are not communicating to outside accordant independent bodies right now until you guys are fully up and running, but it does have that capability.
Because we've had certain instances where a gentleman has been suspended for non-payment, but yet he still attends Scottish Rite or other concordant bodies when really he has no reason to.
Yeah, we have that capability. Our goal is just to not. We don't want to start sending out communications till you guys are 100%.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, Brother Corson.
Yes, Jeff, it's been an excellent presentation. A little bit rushed and a little bit over my head. One thing, where do we put in summonses? Does that go under newsletters?
You can use. So you're talking about summonses for your events or for your meetings?
Well, for the meetings, like obviously we create a summons every single month, and a copy has to be sent to Grand Lodge. And I'm wondering whether or not you're going to either have the functionality or whether we use the newsletters to create.
So you would create an event in the system. You would go in and create an event, which would be your meeting, which then would allow you to create. And we don't have what we call titled a summons yet, but I will make a note of that and talk to the Grand Secretary and the Grand Lodge staff. Because if you are creating the event in Grandview and sending out the communication, I think that satisfies the sending of the summons to the Grand Lodge. That satisfies that request. So I will bring that up on our topic and get you a definitive answer. For the current time being, and we'll get you an answer on this within the week, but go ahead and create the event. You can send out the notice and I will get confirmation that will satisfy the notification to the Grand Lodge.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Brother Plant?
I have two questions. One is, do all the officers have the same access to the database as what the secretary does?
So the officers have view capabilities, so they can see all of the dashboards, but they cannot edit. They can see everything that's on the lodge dashboard, but they cannot edit information.
So the only one that can edit is the secretary?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Except for the treasurer. The treasurer can edit certain sections of the accounting, such as depositing and paying of bills. They can edit that. The secretary is the only one that can add member, change member status, those kind of things.
Okay. And second thing, you said when you process a new candidate, he's assigned a member ID. Is that his Grand Lodge number?
It will ultimately become his Grand Lodge number once he receives a certificate. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Brother Zimmerman. I think you're still
I'm
muted.
right here. I'm
There
right
you go.
here. Just there you go. Are the say when you send something out, are they blind copies?
Yes. So
The
they do not
BCC
come.
so that
Yeah.
so that okay, it's important because we're getting junk coming back from non-blind copies.
Yeah. So on the underneath that lodge settings where I showed you where you could set your lodge email and your lodge phone number, when you send out a post, it will come from a no reply email. It'll come from your lodge name. So it'll, Cypress Lodge number 89 will show up in the subject or in the from line, but the email will be from a no reply. But if they reply to it, it will come back to whatever email is on your lodge settings, but nobody can reply to all and copy the entire lodge.
Okay, so that you can't, you won't see the emails of other people.
Correct.
Okay. L forms that we have to file are L forms. Are they going to be up and be on the system?
They ultimately will. That will be a goal for next year's L forms. Believe you're already in your process right now. Takes a little time to get stood up, but yes, they will ultimately be in the system for the next cycle.
Okay. Messages from the Grand Masters and the Grand Lodge, where do they come to? Because we've had a Grand Master pass away. There's been nothing showing up on your Grandview system as a note from the Grand Master or the Secretary, Grand Secretary, or whomever it would be.
So that will come to you as an email when they send out the notification. You got to remember, we turned on yesterday, right? So
I
there's
understand.
the Grand Lodge office is still, they're still
Okay.
learning. Those ladies are taking a sip from a fire hydrant right now. They're
Okay,
fast to
I believe
absorb it.
that.
But yes, it will come to you as an email. It will show up on your dashboards. It will show up in your post, but mostly will come to you from an email.
Okay, the other one is follow up on summonses. When we write a summons, we make a maybe make a PDF copy of it. Is that an attachment that can be added so that the same summons that we've created, because we write a little bit of a whatever it is in the summons, there's all the information on a summons. Is that an attachment, or is it something you have to type in again, because we have covering letters and so on our
Yeah.
summonses.
So
Could we print those as well, because there are members that have to have them mailed to them because they don't have email access.
Yeah. Let me get a little clarification on the summonses for you. I hate to answer that, but our goal is going to be where you create the event in Grandview and have a field where you can put whatever you would like, and then it will create the summons PDF
Okay.
for you. But
So
let me get some clarification.
Jeff, if I could just interject, the summonses is quite simple. Following the Constitution, every member receives a summons, whether that's electronic or hard copy. That's not changing. And as far as sending summons to Grand Lodge, following the Constitution, you continue to send it either electronically or hard copy to the office and at the summons location or someone's email address. That is not changing either. I hope that answers Brian's question as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
It's still not quite clear that we should redo our summonses. We do it on a word process and then turn it into a PDF and send that out to our members. Okay, and to Grand Lodge and so on. And there's a number that they want it called. But I don't know whether that's an attachment to your lettering, or do we give up doing summonses and just write a little note saying, come to our meeting because it's on the 5th of whatever month. Okay.
Well, as long as you're following the Constitution and every member receives notice.
Okay, so the summonses that I've been creating.
No, we can't turn this into a long discussion. The summons have
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop. That's fine.
Electronic or hard copy. That's enough. Yeah. Thank you.
I think the safe approach to this right now, brothers, is stick with your current processes when in doubt until you receive direction from the Grand Lodge to do something different. Yeah, that's the safest approach. And I've made notes here. So these are things that I'm vaguely familiar with, but I will get clarification and we'll communicate explicit directions out for you. Brother Jason?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. So part of, I've been the secretary for a year now, and I've been reorganizing a lot of files. Now, in this file vault that you have, if I were to download these files into here, is that just accessible for me?
So It is, except for the minutes folder. The minutes folder is accessible to your master masons. And when you open it, it should have a label across the top.
Okay, am I able to allow access to those files to other people by choice?
We have that
Like, for
capability.
example, if
will
I
need
want to give
talk
it,
to yeah,
if I wanted to do one for any new worshipful master coming in, and here's the information you're going to need, and try and set them up for success, is there a way to share that just with that worshipful, with a new worshipful master?
we have that capability. We will have to get that, look at having that stuff turned on. That's a little bit of a deeper functionality than right now, but I'll make a note of that to get those things turned up and communicated out.
Okay, because another part of my big fear is I'm doing all this work, and if something were to happen to me, I want to make sure that the lodge has access to it, so I could use this file vault for that.
Oh yeah. Oh, when it's attached to the lodge, the next officer will always have access to it.
Excellent, excellent. Now, as far as the accounting aspect of the app, is that just accessible and viewed by the secretary and the treasurer, or does Grand Lodge have access to that as well?
Grand Lodge technically has access to see everything if they choose to go in and look at it, just because they have to support you know, and be able to support the system.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Brother Hubbard? We can't hear you, Brother Hubbard. Brother McKenzie? You're muted, Brother McKenzie.
Jeff?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Brother Hubbard. Ian, let
This is
Brother
Joel.
Hubbard go.
Okay.
Well, I thought he could go. Go ahead, Brother McKenzie. Sorry.
Under the old system, I was a secretary and had access to the management for the lodge. Now, when I went in to try and get on the new version, I had to re-register. Is there a way that it automatically recognizes secretaries and allows them greater access, or is there a separate?
When you log in, are you not seeing the lodge dashboard?
I'm seeing the lodge dashboard, yes. I just wondered if I still have the same secretarial privilege.
Yes. Yes, it looks at the currently installed secretary and gives the secretary privileges.
Okay. And where do I find the Grand Lodge store to order supplies?
We are wrapping that up right now. That'll be a little later this week, and we'll send out communication when it's all available.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, we're running to the end of our time here. I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then we'll move on. Brother Hubbard, are you able to? Can we hear you now? Yeah, we can't hear you. Brother Stevenson.
I'm just wondering, because it says that masters and secretaries get on there. How about us assistant secretaries who did not get a direct notice of this but got copied on it, so we could get to this meeting and or update things? Are assistant secretaries going to be given the privilege to update things like we are on the existing or previous system?
So what you do is have your secretary go into the officers section of the lodge, and under appointed officers, just add you as an assistant secretary. And next time you log in, you'll have permissions.
Well, I'm currently listed as an assistant secretary. That should have already come across.
Okay.
And yet I can't see this stuff.
Okay. If you'll report a ticket in on that, then we'll have somebody troubleshoot that for you, or have your secretary report one. What's you're at Lodge 290?
290.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
If I can just add to that, I'm listed as assistant secretary, and I appear to have access to it. So once you're secretary, or if you're on the list as assistant secretary, it looks like you can get at it.
Okay. All right. Brother Corson, looks like you have another question.
Yeah, one question, and that relates back to either meeting notices or summons, whatever we want to do. Okay, if it's specifically the summons, are you going to have a template function where we can pull up the template. Because basically, in a given year, the summons, 50% of the summons doesn't change. Okay, this is the officers and et cetera, et cetera. And it would be great if we didn't have to recreate that every single time. So if you have a template function, we could put that into the template and then just bring that up and just add the new information to the top of that.
Okay. We have a meeting with the Grand Lodge office in the morning.
Okay.
So that will be one of our number one topics to get the summonses sorted out, documented, and delivered to you.
Okay.
Jeff?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jeff. Nice to see you again. I was at your presentation last week
Yes,
there.
sir.
I think one of the things that is just to clarify it for everyone here, when you're sending out the notes through the communications portal, you're able to add an attachment. Is that right, Jeff? You can add an attachment. So any type of summons that you're already producing, you can add it as an attachment to that functionality. So you don't have to worry about changing your process. You're just using that template as the introductory email that would then include your summons attachment. So I hope that clears up a lot of confusion that I'm kind of picking up here from a lot of the membership. That makes sense? Am I right in saying that, Jeff?
Yeah, no, you can make attachments on newsletters
Right.
and send them.
So for everyone here who's producing their summonses, as we already are, whether it's a PDF or whether it's a Word document, you'll be able to attach it to that email through the portal. So it basically it's just an email server that you're using here to send out direct emails to everyone in the on your list. And you'll be able to add everything from your members to district secretaries to secretaries throughout the district and so on and so forth. You'll be able to create your customized distribution lists in that in those screens that Jeff has already shown us. So there's gonna be a lot of benefit there. Jeff, just a quick question that I had. I noticed that there's been a corruption in information for stuff that was imported from the original testing environment. As an example, I've lost everyone's cell phone number and date of birth. So I've sent a ticket. But I thought it was really odd that we had the date of birth and cell phone numbers on the test environment, but they're all gone now.
Okay,
So
let me
just
take
something
a
to
look
point
at
out.
that because we made some adaptations to the import scripts.
Yeah, so it just might be worth rerunning it or just to put a note on that.
It's just we made some adaptations because different situations have cropped up. So I will investigate that. You've submitted a ticket. It's going to come through our workflow. You should start seeing them here pretty quick. So. Guys,
good,
we're
sir.
running up on an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to take these last two questions from Brother Morgan and Fraser, and then we'll wrap up today. Brother Morgan?
Hi there. Yeah, my question's kind of related to what was just mentioned. You are ready. I just want to confirm you are ready for us to escalate discrepancies or
Yes, please do.
Okay. I just for example, and I don't want to get into details, but I got members showing up that haven't been members of our lodge for decades. So
okay. Yeah, send that in because when we'll find one or two, send some examples with some member numbers. We'll find one or two. We'll go look at it. We'll update across the board.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Brother Fraser?
Hi, thanks for your presentation today. I'm just wondering if I have data that needs to be updated. For example, I have the same person listed in 2 officer positions in my officer list, and I don't have the ability to edit it through his profile. There's no edit function showing up. Am I creating a ticket to resolve that, or am I emailing Grand Lodge directly for that?
Creating a ticket, we have something to track, and email is subject to get lost, but it is there for you. If you create a ticket, that's going to get tracked through to completion.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, Brother Hubbard, sorry that we couldn't hear you. No, sir. Brothers, thank you so much for your time. We are beyond excited to have you guys coming online. And again, this is a process. We're here to work with you hand in hand to get through this. You know, you may have some frustration along the way, but just know that we're working behind the scenes because we're balancing technology and processes and training the Grand Lodge. You know, it's new to everyone. But we are diligently working through it. You're going to receive more and more communications as we step through. So thank you for your time today. We will make this recording available to everyone. And we're going to be doing this again Thursday night at 7 p.m. your time. So if you have a problem or think of something between now and then, it's going to be basically the same presentation. But, you know, if you have different questions or something, we'll be there as well. We are also going to start scheduling out some other training sessions specifically for lodge accounting, where we'll have treasurers and secretaries on that call to be able to go through all of that section of the system, very focused training. So again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention, and look forward to getting this thing stood up and running for you guys. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you for the presentation. Very
My
good.
pleasure.
Thanks, Jeff. It was great.
Hey, Jeff, are you open to receiving a side email direct?
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a
How do I
quick
do that?
question, Jeff. Who were you going to send out the recording to, or the link to the recording?
We're going to send it out to that same group that got the invite to the meeting.
Okay.
That's
Mark,
what we're
can you
going to do.
pass that on to
initially.
me? Because I didn't get the invite.
I'll
Okay.
get it to you, Ian.
Thank you.
Sorry, Jeff, can you send me your contact information, or just email it to me or message it to me through the Zoom?
Give me just
If you want to text it to me here, you can text it, whatever you want to do.
give me just a second. Just have to get over to it.
Or you can send it to me through the Grandview portal.
Yeah, I'll say I have all your
Yeah.
information. So yeah, I'll reach out to you and link up.
Perfect. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, man.
Have a good day, guys.
Okay,
Take care.
Back to work.
thank you. Thanks, Mark,
Yes, sir.
for sending me the stuff.
Y'all take care.